Another great Iron Bowl, another great guest. We're gonna break it all down here. About give us like 10 seconds.
This video was brought to you by the Herb Rodg Podcast.
Herb from the Herb Rodg Podcast. Rodg is on assignment in the Bahamas yet again. If you ever want to know where our travel budget is going, but Kyle from the E2C Network has stepped in graciously to help break us down. How are you doing tonight, Kyle?
I'm doing well. It's a busy time of year, but it's the best time of year. Not only is it
sir.
holiday season getting going, it's rivalry week, folks. And look, I know that they've kind of messed it up with the Pac-12 messing up rivalries like the Apple Cup and things like that don't happen on this week anymore. But it doesn't matter because the greatest rivalry, not just in college football, not just in college sports, but in sports, is happening this week. The Iron Bowl, baby. It's time.
I'm with you. Are you ready to fight the Michigan and Ohio State fans for that title, or you think we're safe?
Listen, they can try to fight all they want, but this is I had this discussion a lot lately. Whenever it's posed to me by someone who's not an Ohio State or Michigan fan, or that by them in general, there's this concept of what I call over posturing, when you have to like overdo like what you are or say bigger, bolder things. And they call themselves the game. If you were truly the game, you wouldn't have to call yourselves the game.
Exactly.
We're such a good rivalry. Our name is about our history and about what ties us together rather than, oh, we're the game. So Michigan and Ohio State fans, y'all can fight with us all you want. There is no fight. We are the greatest rivalry in sports.
I agree. I will be hashtagging them. So if the first comments have nothing to do with the Iron Bowl and everything to do with that rivalry,
it's the only agreement we have.
Yes. I am all for it. All for it, man. So let's cover a little bit of business from this year first, and then let's get into this. It always has to start with Hugh Freeze. We talked about before we got on here about Sadie, one of our frequent contributors who's an Auburn fan. Her videos that she sends us every week got to the point where every video started with, all right, he's got to go. Before she said anything about the game. Do you think like at Kentucky was the point, or were you already gone before then? Or do you think he should have been here one more year?
Well, just to kind of set the table of where I am typically on coaching tenures, things like that, I'm a little unconventional here these days. I'm a little bit more patient. I believe that coaches should be given a minimum of 4 years outside of extenuating circumstances. However, everyone's going to differ on what extenuating circumstances, a scandal or things like Kentucky. I mean, Kentucky cannot happen. Okay. Like, let's just be flat out. I mean, Hugh knows it. Everybody knows it, especially within the context of what happened the seasons before, but even the rest of this season leading up to that Kentucky game. I don't know if he could have survived it even after the Kentucky game if he had gotten the win, or if it had looked outstanding. I mean, some people would have told you that the wheels were already in motion for this to change at some point, regardless. Right. But what happened, it's not the loss to Kentucky, it's the way you lost to Kentucky at home. It can't happen. I'm actually a big Hugh Freeze fan. I like the dude. I resonate with a lot of things for him outside of football. But listen, you can't do that. And so I don't really have a place to stand firm on in defending him against the firing. I'm neither for nor against it. I'm a big continuity guy. I wonder if this is just going to take away some of the momentum that Hugh Freeze did build and actually had to work up from, because he inherited a trash can of a program. For me, it's hard to say whether I agree or disagree with it. I mean, I acknowledge that Kentucky can't have it. And so I think it's more of an accepting, like, I can't really defend you, man. At this point, it's tough to find something strong other than your recruiting, which has been outstanding. Right. And I don't mean that by stars and rankings. I mean that by talented freshmen getting out in the field as true freshmen, getting starting playing time, earning starting playing time, supplanting those people that were currently there, and then getting all SEC caliber type of recognitions and things like that as true freshmen and sophomores. So the fruits of his labor were there in the recruiting efforts, just not together with the program and the team. So I guess all that to say, I accept the firing. I wish it didn't have to happen, though.
Yeah. No, you're right though. The way and I also think, I mean, he's already gone by then, but then seeing the offense explode against Vanderbilt probably did not help matters at all as far as that goes. And to your point about the recruiting, yeah, we talk about that a lot on our side too. You know, people are always like, let's get rid of DeBoer, let's get rid of DeBoer. I'm like, you guys don't realize what other damage you do to your program if you get rid of a guy. So all this, let's get a guy after 2 or 3 years. I understand your point totally. But I feel like those 4-year windows are gone because of the transfer.
Yeah.
I just don't think you're ever going to see that again. Everybody's just pulling triggers left and right, you know,
especially this season. This season, it's just, I worried and was concerned Auburn entering the fray, but it looks like they have entered the fray with a very well thought out plan. Just outside looking at it, if you notice, there's not a lot of turmoil around the Auburn decision. There's a lot of questions, but it seems like things were actually approached with a methodical purpose and plan, as opposed to not the Hugh Freeze hiring, but the Brian Harsin hiring, where I was literally sitting in the office here and got not even the media release for it, but the source release to me. And I said, excuse me. So, you know, who knows where it's going to go. I think if you read the tea leaves, you can see where Auburn's heading. The fact of the matter is, Hugh Freeze, I hate it didn't work out. I think he could have had a long tenure here at Auburn. I do wonder if he hadn't inherited such a bad shape of a program, would he have found a way to get this thing really going a lot faster? We'll never know. Here we are again. New season, new coach for Auburn football.
Who do you want as the next guy? If they just came to you and said it's all at your feet, whoever you pick is who we go get.
When I get asked this question, I always try to be honest and say that this is a little bit of the homer in me, but I think Auburn is best in the hands of those people that either already previously Auburn people, have some familiarity with it, or just resonate with it. They show that they accept what Auburn is about. And I know that's some big nebulous concept that, like, what do you mean? What is the Auburn family about? Like, it is a thing, and it's hard to explain, but you know if people get it or not, or they're just trying to sell you that they get it.
Right.
So I'm not saying that you have to hire a former Auburn guy. I like Rhett Lashley a lot, but I don't know that he's the right option, nor did he want to come. / does Auburn want to pay for him? So the name John Sumrall's out there, and people are kind of tying that to it. I'll be fine with whoever they get, and if that's him, which is some of the conventional thinking right now. I think you could do a lot worse. How about that? I mean, it's definitely not a Brian Harsin, not a left field hire. If you want to just me to go to who would I want, just shooting for it, and there's not really a lot of people out there that have had me that excited in this coaching search. Marcus Freeman out of Notre Dame.
Yes.
I do not know why, other than I just like him as a coach. But if I'm not mistaken, Auburn tried to get him to come be our defensive coordinator several seasons ago, and we were very close to doing that. I just like the way he approaches himself as a coach. I think he's proven he can win. So if Marcus, there was a moment in all of these weeks of discussions about it that I started seeing some little whiffs of discussions about Marcus Freeman. I was like, did I just call something here? And I never came to it through anything. But that, to me, that's the one that would have gotten me the most excited in a world of the coaching search, where I'm just kind of like accepting right now of who it's going to be. My main concern, Herb, I just want Auburn to be settled, have a foundation, and let somebody build something. And they've got to also produce the fruit to let people settle with him as well.
Right. I agree. And we talked about a little bit about these coaches searches, and when they get the guy in there, there's like first a little period of, okay, got to recruit, but you got to see who's on your team is staying and what you're building. And I think people need to have a little bit of patience, but I don't think patience is a thing that people in the South, well, we have nothing else to do but football. And I think when you go back to, like we talk about with the game, when you come down here, like that's all we're doing, folks. Like we're planning weddings around this stuff. You know, my wedding, we picked a bye week to make sure that was when we got married. So yes,
you're a much better fan than I am. I told my wife when we got engaged, just don't pick a game day. And then it just so happened that her birthday and our anniversary would fall on the same day if she picked that day. And of course, it was an Auburn Mississippi State game. We won, but I feel you.
Right.
Listen, true fans won't let it happen. I guess I'm not a true fan because
you're right. Well, sometimes you got to go with love, but
that's right.
I know you're in the middle of your vows. Like, yeah, what's hey, we speed this up. Can we get this?
No, sorry. I know we got to talk about the Iron Bowl. That's a funny story, actually. So, Auburn, Mississippi State, 2011. And if you remember that game at all, I forget the last name for the quarterback, but he looked and felt like a lot like Dak Prescott. But basically, it came down to a goal line stand where the quarterback from Mississippi State, kind of came around the end and was going to dive for the touchdown, and the defensive back hits him right at the half-yard line and keeps the ball from crossing the plane, and that's the end on the fourth, and I think it was a fourth down or time ran out, one of the two. And the story that our guest at the wedding told us is that, of course, they're watching inside, in the aisles. Yeah, I've done it. I've done it at a wedding, and in fact, I sent a little thumbs up to the wedding guy I was at, like the groom. I just literally, he looks at me in the crowd, and I go, "We're good." Anyway, back to finish my story, so we can talk about the Iron Bowl. We at the reception afterward, one of the biggest Auburn fans at our reception comes up to me. He's like, "You do know, as soon as you guys said I do, they made the goal line stand for the win," because he was the guy that told me we won. So legend says our marriage started off with an Auburn football win.
There you go. That's the perfect way to do it. You know what I wouldn't do? I would never go back and watch it and time it out. I would just tell that story and be like,
"Oh, that's what I do."
That's the Lord. That's an amazing story.
Yeah.